M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same. but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
The Ravens at 9-2 to start play. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here. And if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason. And we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Jackson to throw. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They love to try to take advantage of his height, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to run it back and try it again, maybe with a little less mustard on the throw.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To throw is Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5.
Here's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Jackson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Okay, break.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Dunlap. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Dunlap. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up fourth down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
On first down, Riley. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun, Dunlap. That's into a crowd and intercepted. The 40. Past the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing. The answer can be yes, because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But when the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, anybody can run down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Riley, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, Dunlap.
Looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football here at their own 23.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And the Dolphins rush gets home, down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Off play action. Dunlap. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Throwing on third and long. Dunlap. This is intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Thompson. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. On second down, they'll run it here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They call it a loss of a yard there, and that'll bring up fourth down.
No surprise they decided to throw on third down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's now 6 dropbacks, 6 incompletions. Yeah, the defense has been pretty good early, but he's got to start hitting some of those throws. He's making them better than what they actually are.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dunlap. He finds his man. Complete. That's Kramer. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. The offense on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Looking to throw. Dunlap. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jackson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. We have 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Dunlap. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Tyree Gillespie.
And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Now a timeout signal for him. They'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson now. He's got Thompson here, complete.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. To throw on second down, Dunlap. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Dancing to his left. And going deep for Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there. And there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. They'll get it to the 23-yard line.
45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Dunlap. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Looking to throw. Dunlap. Got his man. It's Bo Melton. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
2nd down and 5.
They'll look to throw again. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Trayvon Walker,
the outside linebacker, coming up to drop it for a loss of a full 10 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Off the play fake. Dunlap. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
But that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. He's got it complete to Thompson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from going up by 30. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game.
Oh, now it's free. Hill fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Off play action. Dunlap going for the deep ball. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
To throw on 3rd down. Dunlap. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with the 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Riley. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dunlap. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Trayvon Walker picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Dunlap. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now it's Jackson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Tyree Gillespie, the one to get him down.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Dunlap. He's going to air one out.
And now here's another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Second and 6.
Hey, middle.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 35. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he is going to lose yardage here. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. And what a play there by the 1st-round pick.
And, Brandon, that's why you invest in a linebacker like this. Not just his ability to make plays, but to make plays that get your defense off the field.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off play action. Dunlap. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Dunlap. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. He's at the 40. The 20. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Dunlap.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Again, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they?
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point up and good by Sanders as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no...
Dollar. Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bring it home victory, straight out the huddle. I met the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it.